Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome to the Daily Englisher. Today's guest is Jeff. Jeff is the owner of a company in Nelson called Silverking Soya Foods. They make tofu. Last week, Jeff kindly let us come and visit and watch the tofu making process. And it was really interesting, and we filmed it, and that's going to be on this Sunday. Jeff was pretty busy making the tofu, but he agreed to answer a few questions on camera while he worked. The first thing I asked him was, how long have you been making tofu? And he told me the story of how and why he began.
Well, I got into this by accident, quite literally. I used to be a tree planter, and in 1989 we were coming back from California. We had a bad car accident, and after that I couldn't really plant trees. For a while I couldn't even walk. Very short while, but for a while. And then I had already talked with this woman, and I were planning on, she came to me one day and said, would you like to start a tofu business with me? And I said, tofu? What's that? It was sort of really like that, you know. My wife says we'd been eating it all along, but I never even knew. So I said, sure, mostly because I liked her. And we went up to see Greg Lund and his wife Ellen were making tofu up in Caslo. They really started this business. The accident for us happened March 1st. And it was just about the time I was getting ready to go tree planting. And I couldn't do that anymore. And so I sat around a lot, and Greg, meanwhile, moved his tofu factory from up there down to Nelson. Anyway, he moved down here so his kids could go to the Waldorf school, and he moved the tofu shop. He had it in a trailer by that time. He started out in his basement, but he had it in a trailer. And he moved the trailer down to Nelson, to Silverking Road, renamed it Silverking Soya Foods. And he was looking for help to wash buckets and wash up after making it. It was a lot different configuration than this. He was making the tofu not with a pressure cooker, but just with 3 camp stoves with big pots on top of them. And he wanted somebody to wash up for him, so I figured that was sort of within my limited capabilities then. I started washing up in the tofu shop. And meanwhile, Greg was trying to sell the shop because he thought he had post-polio syndrome and felt his whole body going numb on him. So he wanted out of the business. I didn't want him to sell it because then I'd lose my dishwashing job, which was about $40 a week, $60 a week, I think. So I offered to become partners with him. And I joined the business that way. And we were partners for about 2 or 3 years. And then he got a real job up in Caslo, working in the hospital. So he moved back to Caslo and sold me the rest of the business. And I moved it from his place out there because I figured sooner or later he was going to sell it, down to this, and at that point this brewery was still very falling down. It was holes in the roof and everything. It was really, there was no other businesses in here except these guys next door. Trainer Mechanical was the only business in here. And right at the same time I moved in, Keith next door that has the live metal moved in. So he and I are the oldest tenants downstairs here. Actually there were some people upstairs.
Kia ora, in Stick News today, public nudity has been banned in a town called Brattleboro in the United States after officials received several complaints.
Vermont is a state in the northeast of the United States of America. According to Reuters, Vermont has a live and let live tradition, allowing skinny dipping and nude sunbathing. But one town in Vermont has had enough of the nudity. Officials in Brattleboro say they received quite a number of complaints about people wearing only their birthday suits in public. So, this month, they passed an emergency rule. Now, according to Wikipedia, nudity is banned on the main roads and within 250 feet of any school or place of worship. Skinny dipping and nude sunbathing is still legal, but anyone doing the full Monty in the middle of town could be fined $100.
And that was Stick News for Monday, the 30th of July. Kia ora. Did it take long to learn how to make? Do you think the market has changed over the years? Why is that? Do you have to package it for health reasons?
Not to learn the basics. I mean, you already know the basics,
yeah.
right? Just from watching and listening to what Mitch was saying. But to make it good takes a while to learn. I don't know. I've found the market pretty steady for the last 17 years or however long I've been doing it. We actually make less tofu now than we did 17 years ago. I don't know. Good thing as far as I'm concerned right now because we package it all. We didn't package any of it to begin with. Packaging takes at least half of the time. Well, the health department made it really hard for the stores that wanted to sell bulk. Like, see those bins up there?
Yeah.
I had lids that was sliding lids and they had our name on them and everything. I had about 40 of those out at all the stores around here, including the big supermarkets, Save-On State. It was called Overweighty Foods. Now it's Save-On. And they sold it in bulk bins like that. And I was taking them lots of tofu in bulk. But now they're all packaged. There's about 2 places in town that you can buy it. Actually, there's one place you can still buy it bulk. That's the co-op.
Jeff started working in the tofu business after A. working as a chef in Japan, B. having a car accident. B. Jeff's first job in the tofu business was A. packaging the tofu, B. cleaning. B. Silverking Soya is named after A. a road, B. a kind of tree. A. Jeff said he used to be A. a tree planter, B. a house painter. A. Why did many businesses in Nelson stop selling tofu in bulk? A. because it was too expensive, B. because the health department made it hard for them. B.
And that was the Daily English Show. See you tomorrow. Bye.